Alright, excellent. So we have the bill of materials done, and this would serve as a nice cover for something you would receive in the mail. If you were to receive this kit, you would instantly know what all the pieces were and where to assemble them together. And now we're going to go ahead and make the other sheets. They'll show more detail on each of them. So let's start off with the base, even though clicking on base, that has nothing to do with it. Base is the name of this piece here. We're going to show a front view, a right side view, top view, and isometric view. For the ISO view, we're going to double click and make that shaded. And I think we're also going to show a bottom view, and I forgot to do that, but under here, under place views, you can select projected, click on this front view, which sometimes you have to click back here again so you can pick it, and click down below. Hit create. Drag this up a little bit, so this is about halfway in between both the top and the bottom. And I'm also going to turn off the hidden lines, so I have the option to leave them on or turn them off. It'll be much more clear if I can just see the important parts. Okay, and we're going to do something that we normally wouldn't do. We're going to actually break this up into two different pages. So this is going to be 1.375. Make sure we show this to the right number of decimal places. Three inches. This is also 3 inches. Anytime that you have something that looks like a circle or a hole, make sure you add in a center mark. We're going to dimension over to that. So this is our 1.5 inch over to there. We'll show the height of the whole thing. We need to show this radius here. And let's add some leader text about this shell, and the shell is 0.01. So let's go back up to leader text, and we'll type in 0.01 shell. Let's make that shell thickness. There we go. And I think that's looking alright. Let's go and add our name. Title, this is going to be base. Scale, I didn't even see what the scale was. Looks like it's still half scale. Let's see what 3/4 looks like. I think I tried this before and it looked a little bit better. Yeah, see a little bit more detail. So I may have to rearrange some things after the fact, but it does make it look nicer. Three-quarter scale. Let's add a new sheet, and let's throw in a couple of detailed views of the base. So let's go back to base. Ooh, I clicked open. Didn't mean to do that. Oh yeah, I did. This is another thing we have not done before. Let's turn off the hidden lines, and here is a section for detail. We have different kinds of detail we can do. We can do a circle shape or a rectangular shape. Oh, I forgot about how that worked. Alright, let me try that one more time. So let's cancel out of it. Let's Let's go back into detail. I think we may have to start right in the middle of it. That's the issue. Yep. Well, that did not come out right. Let's try one more time. That looks pretty good. Let's detail A. Let's make another detail view here. And let's actually make the detail a little bit bigger. Make it 2:1. In case you're wondering how I did that, I just double-clicked on this little red box around it. You can change the scale to whatever size is most appropriate. Add in another excuse me, center mark, and we'll show how high up this is from the bottom, 0.625. So that goes out to 3 decimal places. Before you click to make this a radius, I think it makes more sense if we right click and change the dimension type to diameter. So it's going to be a 1/2 inch diameter instead of the 0.25 radius. It's a 1/4 inch spacing, and that'll be for both of these. This is 0.195. And then each of these sides, you may have to right click and change dimension type to aligned. .625, and we're gonna have the text say all sides 0.625. Okay, we do have a little radius in here to account for, and I clicked on the midpoint by accident. If you click on that little green dot, you won't get a number. Click off to the side, magically you do. So we have a 0.1 radius. This one doesn't have any kind of a radius, so I don't have to worry about that. And trying to see if there's anything else that should be included here. Can't say that I see anything. I think this looks pretty good. Let's go and add our name. Base detail. Scale on this. Put in custom again. Let's go to a new sheet. We'll do one of the sliders. Slide 1 looks good. Only it does look a little bit big. Let's make this 2:1 instead. ISO view I'm going to make shaded so it shows the true color. Annotations. Anytime you have something that looks like a circle, want to add your center marks to it. Yeah, radius could be appropriate. I still think diameter looks better though. Just right click and select diameter. Show how high up it is. Show the width there. how far over. Should be 0.125, not 0.13, so make sure you change that. And how far up. You want to show the overall depth, how thick the whole part is. You want to use a hole and thread note to show that this really is a hole. And it's not 0.38, it's 0.375, but it rounds up. So you have to right click and go to Edit Hole Note, Precision and Tolerance, and that is on the depth. So we're not going to use global precision, we're going to change the depth to go to the 3rd decimal place. We're going to add a quick note of text over here. It says all rounds, and actually I'm not sure what it was. I'm going to leave just a blank unless otherwise noted. So instead of going through and marking on each of these what the fillet was on these, I'm just going to add a note at the bottom. 0.03125. So let's delete that. .03125 unless otherwise noted. Split up what lines those fall on. That all looks pretty good. Let's copy that and go on to the next sheet. Place views, new sheet. Control V to paste. We'll put it again right there. We'll put in the other slide. So slide 2. This one got a little bit tricky. Some of the things are still the same, like annotate. You still have to put a center mark in here. We're still going to use the hole and thread note for the hole. You still have to go and say, hey, this 0.13 is actually 0.125. So edit the hole note, change the precision and tolerance. Don't use global precision on the depth. Go out to the 3rd decimal place or to the 1000th. Ooh, but not for the depth. Oops. We'll keep that at 2. It's the diameter that goes out to 3. That looks better. Still going to show how high up this is. 0.25. That the whole chunk is 0.5. This base is 0.25. Here to here is 0.125, so I have to show this to the 3rd decimal place, 3rd place after the decimal. The overall height of everything is 0.83, and this is actually, see, this is where it gets a little bit funny. These dimensions, while they look right, they're going to be a little bit off. They don't look right. 0.83 apparently is. That is the overall height. But I want you to note that if this were a normal triangle, this tip would actually end somewhere out here. Likewise, these would be over here somewhere and over here somewhere. So because we've added these little fillets, we've changed the overall size, and now it's not as easy to show it on the drawing. It's not going to show a nice number at least. So like, for example, here, when I go right click, dimension type, aligned, it's going to say that the file size is 0.51674,682, which is not very nice. I'm going to leave it at let's at least go out to the thousands place. 0.517. Notice it's going from here to here and not from tip to tip where it should be. I am still going to add the